Alright guys, so I'm doing another vlog for you, and yes, it's in my room, only because I lost my job, and I can't afford to fuel the Lanche right now because it ran out of fuel pretty much almost all the way, and my bank account got tabbed dry thanks to insurance. So, somebody asked me, I have a few requests for videos on the Lanche, so I'm just gonna run down the list real quick. The first one is, how did I get the Lanche? Well, basically, I had an Audi from high school. Orion knows of it, and Kyle knows of it. It was a complete and utter shitbox. I came back from basic training in 2014, and I put $3,000 into the car right after I paid it off. So I was like $6,000 or $7,000 into this car already. That's including buying it. And I was driving on the road one day to go to Bristol. I was going to see my dad at the house that we were getting ready to move into at the time, which we moved out of already. And I was gonna go give him a hand with building a bedroom. So I was going down the road, and I had some stuff in the back seat of the car and in the trunk to bring over to the house to use for when we were working in the basement. And so I'm going down the road, minding my own business, just cruising. And next thing I know, the motor, I lose all power, lose everything on the car. So I'm like, well, shit. The cabinet of the car starts filling up with smoke, and pop the hood, and it's just pouring smoke out, and all you see is a line of like oil and coolant down the street behind me. So I call my stepdad. He comes and picks me up, picks up the car, brings it to his buddy's shop. His buddy checks it out, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you blew up the oil pump seal and the coolant line." So he added a quart of oil into the car to show me, and the Audi was just pissing the oil out like it was nothing. So I was like, "All right, sweet." I had my stepdad come back down with the tow truck and pick up the car and drop it at my house in the front yard. So he calls me back like 2 days later. He's like, "Hey, bud, my friend over here at such and such a shop, which I'm not going to mention in the video, they're selling a truck right now if you want to go check it out." So I was like, "All right, sweet, whatever." So I took my dad's car at the time, and I cruised down there, and I was checking out the Lanche. I was like, not too sure about it, only because it had chrome 20s on it, low pro tires, chrome running boards, chrome window guards, a chrome bug guard on the grill, um, chrome door handles, which everybody knows because that's how it looked before I took them off at Orion's house. It just looked like a complete and utter like I don't even know like the proper word to use for it. Like it just looked like it came out of like Hartford or Waterbury pretty much. Like it was just all chrome. And it was just not my style at all. So I was like, I'm not sure. So I went and looked at another truck back at the guy's shop that looked at the Audi for me, and he went to auction, picked up a truck for me. I went and looked at it. It was at the top of my price range, which I was pissed about because he told me that he was going to try and stay away from my max price. And then he also said, "Oh yeah, it needs motor work." So I was like, "All right, is that included in the price?" He's like, "No, you got to pay for that also." I'm like, "Dude, screw that." So I told him, "No, I'm not buying the truck from him." So I took off. I went back to go look at the Lanche like the next day. I took it for a test drive. I was like, "All right, this thing is just awesome." Like it had this Flowmaster 40 series on it at the time. It just sounded mean. It sounded like it was an amazing riding truck for me. Everything that I was gonna plan on doing to a truck on the interior was already done, minus a headrest, DVD player bullshit that I hate. So I was like, all right, sweet. I'll just remove all the chrome and shit later on down the road. So I went down there the next day with my dad and took him for a test drive in it. And he's like, all right, this is a pretty good truck. It has everything that you want done to it done. So let's see what he wants. So we talked the guy down like $500 or some shit like that. And he took the Audi for $500 trade in. So I got the truck last year in February, like right at the end of winter time, and with those the low profile tires, it was just absolute garbage. So the only downfall of the truck when I bought it was the low profile tires that had no traction because come to find out they were summer tires, and I didn't know that, and the truck didn't come with extra rims at the time. So yeah, bought the Lanche from Waterbury, West End, Bristol, if anybody knows that area. Um, then somebody else asked me to do a video on blowing up the tranny. First off, it was not the tranny. Yes, Orion mentioned that it was the tranny in the video, and he also mentioned that it was the diff at first. Well, our buddy Carl came and picked it up, the one that works on the van all the time and works on the Lanche. And he brought it down to his shop, and Orion and I went down there to go check on it one day. I think it was like the weekend after it happened, the whole blown up the rear end. And he has a couple of our buddies that work there, and he's like, one of my buddies comes up to me, he's like, yeah, here's your spider gears, like in his hand, just shrapnel, just chilling in his hand. He's like, yeah, that's just part of it. There's more on the ground and more in your pumpkin still. So I was like, shit. So it sent shrapnel down the axle shafts, down everything. It just made a huge mess. I blew up a brake line also. So Carl's like, yeah, I'm going to have to put a new rear axle on. So it took like another week for that because they had to order it. So between doing the rear axle and all the other work he had to do, it took about a week. So I go there to pick it up, and it's like midnight, and I had to be to Norwich in the morning. And so I was down there. I ended up leaving the shop at like 1 o'clock in the morning, raced home, and got like 4 hours of sleep to turn around and drive like almost 2 hours to Norwich. And when Carl put the axle in, it also needed a brake line because I blew that down in the freaking area where I was doing attempting to do donuts, which I succeeded 2 days earlier with Berkey. So it was rear end, not the tranny. The tranny's still good, even though the 4L60E, I'm just gonna put it out there, is complete and utter garbage. Future plans for the Lanche. If you guys watched my previous video, the drift event bound video with Ben, I mentioned that the Lanche is up for sale. That is true. I'm trying to get $8,500 best offer for it. Truck's in amazing condition, minus the bumper and the clear coat peeling. It's been peeling since I bought the truck. The previous owner was in an accident with it, and the body shop that I had to do the work to it just did a complete and utter garbage job to it. So I'm just trying to sell it because I want to get a diesel next. I'm clearly going with a Duramax. I don't know if I want a single wheel 3/4 ton or if I want a single wheel or dually 1 ton or what I'm going to do yet. But if the Lanche does stay, which I highly doubt it's going to stick around, I'm going to do 20 by 12s with a negative 44mm offset. I'm going to do the LS6 cam. I'm either going to do a single or twin turbo setup depending on how crazy I want to go and how much power I want to make. 4-inch lift kit, redo the sound system, get rid of the stupid DVD players in the headrest. Blow the motor up, swap it out for something else, put the truck on 1 tons and just make it like a mud bog truck or some shit. Don't know yet. And yeah, that's basically it. If I know a lot of you are going to be hating on me because the video's obviously recorded in my bedroom. Until I get a new job, my videos are going to be either recorded here in the room, or they're going to be recorded outside in either my front yard with the Lanche or in the backyard with the Miata. Not sure yet. All depends on the next topic I pick for the vlog, or what the hell I go and do with Orion when I see him next. So yeah, if you guys like this video, make sure you subscribe, like, drop a comment. Hate is welcome also. It makes me laugh. If you guys have any other topics you want me to cover besides the ones that have already been mentioned on my Instagram post or in previous video comments, let me know and share the videos with your friends. Let's try and make this channel big so there's better content and whatnot in the future. Thanks.